Okay, it is one of our favorite guests, favorite people in the world. We've been the AWL's been clamoring for this. It is our good friend Jerry O'Connell, JOC for our fantasy football preview.
I'm actually technically an AWL. I mean, I know that AWL is clamoring for it, but I am.
Yeah, have you been clamoring for yourself?
Actually, I was shocked to hear how many people are basing. It's a joke because I have no authority in the fantasy football world at all. Like these people, if you listen to these podcasts, these people crunch numbers and everything and understand about defenses and offenses and contract negotiations and whether where Lamar Jackson is in his own negotiations and all that sort of stuff. But I have I don't have a degree in this.
Yeah, but
all.
You have strong opinions, Jerry.
On.
And the thing is, like, I saw somebody tweet this the other day. Like, I'm excited to hear what 30 players should be eligible to be drafted in fantasy football because you hate so many teams.
Yeah, what 16 teams are we not drafting anyone from?
Well, actually, I do have a lot of negativity toward a majority of the league. Yeah. You're correct. And it just comes from experience of being let down year after year in fantasy football. I've said this on your show before, and I'll say it again. The last time I won fantasy football, Derek Anderson, Braylon Edwards, and Maurice Jones-Drew were my starters. And so that was before a lot of your listeners
But I think that's very relatable.
They don't even know.
Like, nobody wins fantasy football. I'm convinced that nobody actually wins in this sport because I never win either.
Oh, but fellas, we had a really good draft last night. I got to say, that CJ McCollum draft, they were really drafting. They were just drafting whatever the website was saying. Oh, this is the next valuable player. But I have spent thousands of dollars on programs and sites, and I've done research, and I was picking the most perfect picks for you and your fantasy league last night. I
appreciate you doing this.
I really invested not only a lot of my time, but a lot of my money. And I really had to sift through. When you're getting help from fantasy sites, some of them, I just click on all of them. I get a little tipsy at night and I'm like, oh, this looks good. And you'll click on it and you'll give them your credit card, which is it's just such a mistake because it's like joining like a vitamin program where they keep charging you for vitamins and you like literally have to like get a lawyer to get them to stop charging
you could just say OnlyFans. We know that you signed up for OnlyFans and then you just always every day when they're like, hey, look at these new pictures and you're just like, all right, hit it. It's okay.
Well, it's just difficult too because I'm not going to mention any specific sites, but you mentioned that site, like your family then can see on your credit card bill what you're paying for, and then it's brought up in front of your children, and it just becomes a thing, That
would be a very embarrassing credit card report to be read aloud in a court of law if it ever comes to that situation, where it's like 17 different sites that start with
it's not a court of law. It's more like therapy, like therapists, like couples.
All right, so
therapists. That's like embarrassing when there's evidence. Like you have to be careful of those paper trails. But I joined one fantasy like guidance site, and I could just tell they were like from Chechnya, and like they were like, yes, you will draft Thurman Thomas. Draft.
Let's win your league in 1992. Yeah. Wait. So Jerry.
Yes, this is. The Jim Kelly is the best quarterback for your team this season. We need social security number for your fantasy league and date of birth and mother's maiden name.
There's only one person that we were going to ask to be the general manager of our team. We tried to do it last year. I sent you on a wild goose chase for that draft, and I apologize for that one. That was a debacle. You spent probably hours at a computer waiting to get the right information. I couldn't get it to you. But
doesn't matter. I did go to a FedEx office, and it was me just punching the screen in a FedEx office, and people recording me and saying, "Look at this unhoused person going crazy."
Yeah, you end up on
FedEx
TMZ.
office.
Somebody taking a cell phone video. Jerry O'Connell breaks a FedEx office clean open because he's frustrated he can't log into his fantasy draft.
But we should say, Jerry, this is a real league. So CJ McCollum's league, everyone here in this room and in part of my take room, we're paying real money. I think it's $2,500. It's real money. You're our general manager. So why don't you? We have no idea who you drafted. Why don't we go down the list and give us who you drafted and tell us your reasoning behind it, and then we can do some big picture stuff for the people at home.
All right. You have it in front of you? Or
no, you're going to break the news to us. We haven't checked it. So I don't know if you know any of the other players in the league, but the ones that you might know, Julius Randle is in that league, and then Turtle, Jerry Ferrara is in the league as well.
Yeah. Heard of all those guys.
So yeah, we'll let you break the news to us because I have no idea who you drafted. I'm just excited as you were last night. This is like unveiling it to me.
All right, here we go. First of all, my team's name is Jerry's Kids, which those who may or may not remember, that was they were special needs children.
Isn't that what?
So it's a joke I've heard a lot.
Is that Jerry Sandusky's?
No, that was.
No.
Jerry
No.
I just no. That was the first mile or something. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
So with my first pick last night, I took the Derrick Henry. Now I had a choice between Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook, and I had Dalvin Cook in another league last season, and he didn't really produce. I'm sorry. He did on one like Thursday night game against the Cardinals in like week 18 when it didn't matter. And I just, the computers were telling me to take Dalvin, but I went with Derrick Henry. He's just a
and he gets to play against the Jaguars twice and the Texans twice.
Yeah.
So that's always good.
Okay.
And they don't have really, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, any other weapons other than him. So he's going to see a lot of production. And so I took Derrick Henry as your first pick, and I felt very good about it.
That's his nickname. Very cool.
Yeah. For your second pick, I took Breece Hall because I love the Jets. I'm kidding, everyone.
No, but that's you. You would take that. That's not crazy.
You thought about taking him.
No, for your second pick, I took and I'm with BC on this one. I took Javonte Williams. I think I'm with BC here, and I believe the Broncos are going to have a pretty epic season. I think it's going to be an offensive powerhouse. I also have a theory about the Broncos because the air is thin up there. They just air it out, and McManus is just kicking field goals, and just Wilson is just throwing it in the air, and the ball travels farther because it's so thin in the air.
Okay, so we're going. So there is people that say the zero running back strategy. We're going with all running back strategy.
Listen, I'm an old school gentleman. I draft 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds. That's how I go, and I'm not drafting a tight end until the 5th round. That's how I am. I'm old school. I came up on fantasy when you would have to open up the paper Monday morning and check your stats, and then you would do the math and tell the rest of the team how you did. I'm an old school fellow. A lot of these kids have their apps, have their websites. That's not how I roll. They're drafting in a lot of leagues. Justin Herbert has been going the 3rd and 4th pick. That's not how I do it. I'm an old school fantasy football player. Old school, OS for life.
You're Smash Mouth.
Okay.
You're a Smash Mouth guy. Right. So, but what would you say to the people that are like, hey, Jerry, they throw the ball a lot in Denver. They like to air it out. A lot of points being put up by Russell Wilson, as you actually just said that a second ago. But Javonte Williams is a running back.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that – I trust you.
Listen, a lot of kids do, stupid things these days. They do, Tide Pod challenges as well. Does that mean I should go do a Tide Pod challenge? Like, no, I don't care what the kids are doing. This is how I roll. You made me look. I mean, I know you had Coach Arians on the other day. He was real old school. I'm old school. I'm old school.
Run the damn ball. Okay.
Sorry, you're getting two running backs.
Okay. All right.
With your third pick, I took Keenan Allen, who it's so funny. I had some options here. Justin Herbert went. I had a shot to go for Josh Allen, but the computers were telling me it was a little more of a stretch to grab him. But I went with Keenan Allen. I'm going to tell you in a moment who everyone should and shouldn't be drafting. I should say this is just my opinion. Please don't, write me after this and say you lost your league because of this advice. This is just, this is a bad time to tell you this, but it's just sort of like whimsical. It's by
I don't like that.
By my whims. Okay. I have no proof as to these results or numbers or anything. Whereas if you listen to a real fantasy football podcast, they have numbers to back things up. This is just based on my anger in fantasy
How many
football.
teams in this league? 12?
12.
12. Okay. All right. I was just looking because I was just trying to figure it out. Javonte Williams ranked, he's a tier 3 running back. We got him in the second round, though. That's pretty good value, right?
I want to apologize. I may have taken we got him in the
Okay. All right. So let's go to round 4.
That's totally fine. Listen, you probably would have taken him in the first.
But, I had to circle back, and it's that circle back. You get so scared of somebody else, like God forbid Jerry Ferreira picks him up or something, or
So
God forbid.
What pick did we have? Were we Derrick Henry? What was he like? Okay,
Sixth. All right,
so that's
the middle.
That's where
Sixth.
you got bad luck with the draft order. You don't want to be 6th.
Yeah.
I think 6th is a good place to be. I'm not taking Christian McCaffrey. I'm not doing that.
Thank you.
I'm not taking Najee Harris. I'm not. I like 6th.
All right. So round 4.
Round 3. We're at. I took Keenan Allen. Okay, round 4. Well, this is where you are going to get a little upset. I did take Breece Hall. I'm so sorry. I told you guys I have to have one Jet on my team.
God damn it.
I can't take Zach Wilson. Who knows what's going to happen there? It's probably going to be Flacco. We got to have a Jet. I got to do it for Billy. I got to do it for we got to have a Jet. I mean, we're going to watch the first 2 Jets games anyway, so we might as well see what
Okay, so that's actually a fair strategy. I like that, looking at what teams will be in prime time at the start of the year, where we're going to have to watch their games, and then drafting players from those teams. I like that because it makes it a little bit more fun.
The Jets are never going to be in prime time. They're never – I mean, I live on the West Coast. Those games – usually the games start at 10 a.m., which is an awesome reason to move to the West Coast, by the way, everyone, because you wake up and there's football happening immediately. You don't have that 3-hour window where you're still shaking from the night before and you don't know what to do with yourself. There's no excuses. You can jump right into football. But I just you guys know my rules. I have to have a Brown and I have to have a Jet.
You do know your rules.
And I have to have Jags.
I'm looking right now. Yes, the Jets do have a primetime game. Week 16, Thursday night against the Jaguars.
Oh, love it. That's going to be a hell of a game.
Week 16?
Against the Jaguars.
Thursday night against the Jaguars. That is their prime
I'm calling it right now.
Ratings through the roof.
Breece Hall is going to go off that game.
Better make sure my Amazon Prime is up to date.
All right. So
even Bezos more money. That Blue Origin money.
We have 3 running backs in 4 rounds. Tell me who we got in round 5. Not another running back.
No. We actually went Joe Burrow.
Oh, okay, good.
Good pick.
I just like having there's really only 3 or 4 quarterbacks I really wanted. Russell Wilson's been going late in a lot of these. I don't know. It's a sexy pick, It's
we love
a sexy
Joe.
pick.
It's
a sexy pick.
Yes. Okay, this feel like we're moving in the right direction here.
Then things got a little dicey. Because the computers were starting to say different things for me. Because I have a number of websites that are giving me live information as to who I should be picking. So the numbers were it's sort of like it was like crypto. It was like I didn't understand.
So
what
like
was happening.
high-speed transactions, you pay for so many services that will actually coach you through your draft.
Yeah, well,
it was slowing down your computer.
It was also probably confusing because in round 6 they were probably like, now's a good time to take Breece Hall.
You're gonna be really upset. But I was afraid he was gonna leave us and get taken off the board. I took Melvin Gordon next because I really want to handcuff Javonte.
Okay, no. I understand the logic. Okay.
So we now have a handcuff in round 6.
You're gonna laugh, but when Javonte Williams, when he like pulls a hamstring week 2, we're gonna be kissing Jerry's toes.
Smart to get a handcuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Of our backup running back. We gotta. Because I have.
BC, first of all, I want to thank you for your confidence, but BC,
okay, all right.
Come on, man. You put me in charge of this. It's like, let me own it.
I'll be positive, but I just want to remind everyone, I have a feeling that our starting running backs are going to be Derrick Henry and Breece Hall because of the Jet stuff. So now we have on our bench a handcuff.
We can put one as a wide receiver.
But he is going in about the 5th round.
All right, good value.
Great value. Great job.
Fleeced.
You know, I just want to say I'm not going to doubt myself because that's some like Derek Blau stuff when you're like kind of shaky and like, oh gosh. I'm not doing that. Like I stand by these decisions. Like some of these other, Julius Randle and Jerry Ferreira and CJ McCollum, they were like picking all over the place, and I wanted to make sure that I had a handcuff just in case. Last season, because it was auto picked and we had the first pick, it chose Christian McCaffrey, and I didn't have Chuba Hubbard on my team when he went down. And one of the other goofballs in this league already had him, and we were fucked in the
dick, in the butt. Yeah.
I mean, it really screwed up our season. So I'm not letting that happen again. I also, part of my job as your manager, as your GM, is to protect you. I'm here to protect you. And if Javonte goes down, which is a possibility because the air is thin up there, don't know what that has to do with whether bones are brittle or not. But like, I just want to protect
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Okay, 7th round.
If you took Michael Carter, I'm going to kill you.
7th round, I took I took you're gonna be a little upset because he is questionable, but I took Jalen Waddle. He was still on the board.
I like
in the
that.
7th round.
I don't hate it. I like him in that offense.
Yeah, and he's got the cool dance, the touchdown dance.
And by the way, and it's a bargain. He was there in the 7th round. I had to take him. The computers were yelling at me in Chechnya. Okay. Then this was interesting. This was interesting. I saw him up there, and also BC, I agree with you. I think he's going to have a good season. I took Kirk Cousins next. I know we have Joe Burrow. I know.
Wait, who are these guys going to throw to?
Listen,
Big Cat, wait, why is he saying that he trusted you on this?
And I don't know when I say all these things. I don't know.
Kirk Cousins, that motherfucker.
You talk a lot about Kirk Cousins having a good season and talking about Kevin O'Connell. By the way, he's being coached by an O'Connell.
Okay, you're right. You're right. That is, you have to do that. Your brother coaches the Vikings. You have to do it.
And someone could trade us for him. I just he's just too valuable. And also I saw that a lot of other people in back of me in the 8th round hadn't drafted a quarterback yet. And I wanted him there. Someone's going to offer us a trade. All right, after that, Hollywood Brown, he was still in like the 9th round or 10th round. That's a steal. Then I think I took Dawson Knox because I had to get a tight end in there. And you're about to hear I love Buffalo. And then Traylon Burks was still on the board, so I took him next. Sky Moore, I think, was my 11th or 12th rounder.
I like that.
And then I had to handcuff. Guys, I'm all about protecting you and handcuffing. So I got Hassan Haskins, who's that running back over at Tennessee, to handcuff with Derrick Henry in case he breaks his foot again.
I see. This is you. You had a couple blips, but I feel like you corrected yourself here.
And then at that point, my wife was yelling at me because the draft went on a little long. I mean, wow, Julius Randle really takes the entire 2 minutes that he gives, that he gets. And I was yelling at me, and I had to go on auto draft, so I didn't get a kicker. But good news, on the waiver wire, we have a claim in for Mr. Crisscross Applesauce himself, Rodrigo Blankenship, who I think is going to be the kicker forward this season.
I like that a lot, Jerry. I like him as a kicker. He wears cool glasses, and again, it goes back to my strategy of AFC South players. If you get somebody from the Colts, or you get somebody from the Titans, or you get one of their two defenses that you can pick up maybe off the waiver wire whenever they play against the Texans or the Jaguars, I think that's good to have.
Yeah, I did have Mr. Blankenship on a few of my teams last season, and when he did decide to sit out that game and sort of just angrily pout on the sidelines, I know he was injured. It made me feel hatred for him, and like now when I see him in those glasses, or even any mention of him, it made me angry at him. But I don't know. I'm willing to give him another shot.
You got a good heart.
And a lot of the computers say he's going to be kicker forward this season.
That sounds good. And what we have to remember here,
guys, I feel
it's
good.
a 12-person league, so it's a lot of depth in this league. So I don't hate that lineup. I don't hate Kirk Cousins as a player. I have a deep-seated hatred for him. So I don't actually hate him. It's just personal at this point. Well, because
it's something to do with the
Commanders and everything that happened while he was the quarterback there. I also just think he's kind of a nerd, but that's fine. I think he'll probably have a decent year with your brother.
I think you're conflating people's beliefs with being nerdy, and there's nothing wrong with being spiritual.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen how he cooks steak, though? He puts aluminum foil down on the grill.
How you like that? The only thing that really annoyed me was when he was in the tunnel going, "You like that?" That was a little.
Yeah, I heard he brought it back, though. I heard he did that in practice at some point this year. So, I don't know, we might have swaggy.
You're supposed to act like you've been there. All right. Can I go through players?
Yeah, let's get your do not list.
Please.
What's on your do not list this year?
Okay. The NFC West. Let's start with the NFC West because I live here in Los Angeles. No Rams. No Rams at all. Not one.
Why is that?
I'm going to tell you why. I live in Los Angeles. I've lived here for over 2 decades. And I have never met a Rams fan ever until about 7 months ago.
Okay.
And for example, my agent, who knows nothing, I've never talked to my agent about football ever. And you guys know, I come on your show, I talk football. I'm a football guy. And he just wants to talk about the Rams with me now, but he wants to talk about it in like an annoying way. Like I'll call him on the phone and he'll be like, "Hey, Jeff." And I'll be like, "You got that wrong. It's Jerry." And he'll say, "Hey, you guys, I know you love football. How about our Rams? I bleed blue and yellow now. It's crazy. Odell, right? Cooper, they're hot." And it just, Los Angeles, it's a town of bandwagoners. It just drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. And I can't root for any of them. It's not real. It's not a real dedication. It's not a lifelong.
It's fraudulent points. Whenever Cooper Kupp scores a touchdown, it's the tree falling in the forest.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
No.
Yeah. And they get amazing seats, and like they don't pay for them, and they don't give them. They give them to every other client except for me. So,
I'm on board.
And I want to tell
you
something.
right. Like you'd rather watch Breece Hall lose 5 yards on a carry than Cooper Kupp score a 90-yard touchdown. That's real football.
You're so shady. Yesterday or Wednesday was so shady when you were talking to Coach Arians and you were like, "Oh yeah, not Drew Lock. Andrew Luck, yeah, he had to tackle a lot after he got intercepted. You're so shady. I love all the shady stuff you do, BC. But also I will say this, Coach McVay, something that annoys me about him a little bit. I have a friend who he like gets his hair done, and every time he walks past a mirror, he makes like a face, and he like looks in a mirror, and he just pushes up the front of his hair, like he just gets it perfect, and then he does like a look like, yeah, you look hot. Like Coach McVay looks like he just spends like a good 20 minutes on his hair before every game, and it's just like, that's not what I want from a coach. I want someone who's got a dip in his mouth and is crying, I want, and who
you want to root for the
Coach Campbell.
You want to root for the Lions, not the Rams.
Right. And we've told this story before, Jerry, but Sean McVay came up to PFT and I in Indianapolis at the Combine and was like, "What do you got against my beard?" Because we had made fun of his beard, and that's what you're saying. Like we want coaches. We make fun of like Arthur Smith. We made fun of his chin, and he took it on. Well, he doesn't have a chin, but he took it on wherever his chin should be.
His neck.
Yeah, I will say, and I should say it's a little scary because Coach McVay does live, where I live in Calabasas in Los Angeles, where all the Kardashians are from. Coach McVay lives around there. I don't want to get in trouble, but I have seen him. And he lives in the more wealthy section. I'm in ghetto. I'm in the lower income area of Calabasas. I'm not in a gated community.
Man of the people.
But there is a small gate, but I put it up. I got it just from Home Depot. I put it up. It's like chicken wire. But I'm afraid if I do see him, I don't know, it like in and out or something, he's going to get in my face. But he does look a little boy bandy, just a touch, It's
interesting you bring that up because there's some people on this podcast that think he's the third toughest coach in the NFL. I just thought that was interesting when we did a battle royale of coaches.
He's a little jacked. He's a little jacked, but
I agree. I hope it's not awkward if you run into him, though.
Stay in the NFC West. Absolutely no Seahawks this season. None whatsoever. It took me so long to get off of Nicorette. I can't watch Pete Carroll. It just makes me want to go buy Nicorette immediately. Penny, who's their starting running back, is going to be injured in 2 weeks, and then I guess you stash Walker, but no receivers. I'm not betting on Drew Lock. Geno Smith is going to get punched and be out for the rest of the season anyway. Just stay away. Just stay away.
DK could get you some points if you're in a defensive league on tackles, though. He's got that chase down speed.
That was shady of you.
Yeah, I actually feel really bad for. I feel really bad for Lockett and DK. Actually, they're in a weird situation. I want to talk to you about the Cardinals. And obviously, I was addicted to Nicorette. I said that earlier, but also to cigarettes, which are super bad. No one should smoke. But I also used to dip. It's a little triggering watching Hard Knocks. Notice they don't do any shots of Dan spitting at all. But yesterday actually in this week's episode, you saw he was carrying a cup with the napkin in there and just some
old school,
some spittle in there. What do you think he'd choose? I bet he goes with.
I was gonna say Copenhagen.
I think he might go old school Red Man, just throw in the long stuff.
You can see the tin through his pocket.
Yeah.
So
actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my answer. I bet he goes for cherry.
Oh, no way!
So, no, I disagree. There was a article that came out about Dan Campbell a couple weeks ago, and he says 2 things I like to taste in life: coffee and tobacco. So he doesn't put any milk or sugar in his coffee, and he doesn't do anything flavored with his tobacco.
Yeah, he's Copenhagen straight, probably.
There's 2 things I love to taste in life: coffee and ass.
It's like Jake.
Okay. But I did have a real Call of Duty problem. it is an addictive game. It just sucks you right in. And I get where Kyler is coming from. I mean, they give you medals. They dangle these medals in front of you. You get like a kill streak medal, a specialist medal. Just a few more hours. If you stay up, you get an anti-specialist medal. You get a rapid kill medal, a end of match medal, kill streak medal. They just dangle them and you can't stop because you're so close to the next medal. And I get it. I actually feel for him. I actually think Kyler needs a little bit of help, like getting out of that video game addiction. It sucks you in.
Yeah, I agree. So we're drafting Cardinals?
PFT can't comment on this because PFT can't play Call of Duty. You don't know.
I quit playing Call of Duty, actually. I picked it up last year.
Isn't it amazing how much more you do with your life when you stop playing Call
of Duty? Well, no, because I switched over to flight simulators, and I do that more now. So I switched branches of the military, got into the Air Force.
Get to
I still probably kill more people now. Sometimes orphans when my bombs miss, but yeah, I fly an F-15.
Huh. All right. Are you ready for this? I'm going to say something nice about the NFC West. Any 49ers.
Okay.
All of them. All the
Nice.
49ers. All of them. Love them. Their fandom is a little scary. I work with a gentleman who is a 49ers fan, and every Monday morning, he's a large man. I don't mean to physically judge people, but he's heavily tattooed, and he just every Monday morning he gets in my face, and he's always like, "Yeah, you like those Niners, right? You like that? You like that? You see that? You see what the Niners did? You like that? Punch you in the mouth, football. Punch you in the mouth, football. You like that? You have a soft mouth, actor mouth. You like that? You like the Niners? The Niners, man." So they're a little scary. Their fans. I'm gonna go as far as to say the Niners fans are maybe the scariest fans in the league.
Over the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, Raiders fans are pretty scary. Raiders fans are pretty scary. I ever tell you about the story when I went to the Raiders game with my wife and why I'm not allowed to do football anymore?
I don't know if you have.
I'm a Chargers fan here in Los Angeles. I was a fan when they were in a different city, which we don't mention. The organization doesn't like that. So the Los Angeles Chargers. But when they were in a different city, I had season tickets, and I was just dating my wife, and I said, "I have season tickets to the Chargers. Do you want to go?" And my wife is from Northern California, and I said, "They're playing Oakland. We should go." And my wife was not familiar with football at all, and with Raiders fans and Chargers fans, a altercation broke out near us, and my wife got hit with a beer, a beer everywhere, and we left, and in the parking lot, my wife and I got into a fight because my wife was like, "You didn't protect me. Like, I felt vulnerable there. Why didn't you protect me?" And I had to explain to her that I'm afraid of Raiders fans, and we're lucky we just got out with a beer spill. It could have been way worse. And my wife has not been to a football game since. Actually, I take that back. My wife went to a Los Angeles Chargers Raiders game again, but we had to go to a box.
Nice.
We had to sit in a
Nice.
box.
Nice. Okay, so who else is on the list?
So any 49ers. Okay, let's get to the NFC
we're doing every
East.
division. Okay.
Only Jalen Hurts. No one else in the NFC East. Only Jalen
I don't
Hurts.
mind that.
Yeah.
No one else. I don't even have to talk about them. I'm sorry about the Commanders. I'm sorry about the Cowboys. I'm sorry about just nothing. Just only Jalen Hurts. I think the NFC East is maybe the worst. NFC North is pretty bad too, but I mean, just
Okay.
Jalen Hurts. I don't know
Okay.
what else to say. I think he's going to have a good season. Drafted before Joe Burrow. Can
Wow.
you believe that?
That is
Jalen
a little
Hurts.
shocking.
Yeah.
Okay.
NFC North. Oh man, let's talk about Hard Knocks for a second. This is going to get a little strange, but let's talk about the Hutchinson.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's have this conversation.
I mean, you guys know I'm married. I'm married. We have issues. At times it's a happy marriage. At times, it's not a volatile marriage. There's not volatility, but at times there is just a disconnection. But I'm married, so like this is like an imaginary situation. But I would have relations with this. The sisters are all over.
Yeah,
You just say you'd have relations with all of the Hutchinsons.
Oh, Mom. By the way, I would fuck the dad. I would fuck the dad. I would. I'm not joking. I want to get on 23andMe. I want the cousins coming in. I want to fuck them all. I want the pets watching. I want to fuck that entire family.
Agreed.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
They are amazing. They're so supportive. They watch the games. They birth and raise NFL players and beauty queens and sign me up.
Yeah.
My father gave me an addiction gene, and now debt. And this family, and I want to be with them physically. I want to be inside of them, all of them. And that includes Mr. Hutchinson.
Yeah,
all of them.
They're beautiful people. I think one of his sisters was Miss Michigan.
So as an IDP, you can take Hutch, but nobody. Oh God, that just got all Zach Wilson talking
That's
about
okay.
his mom, didn't I?
It's understandable.
That's fine.
You're a man.
But none of the Lions. Don't be fooled. DJ Shark isn't doing anything this season. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Only one NFC Northern player. Alan Lazard, I think, is
NFC
late
Northern.
round.
I like that.
I think he's going to do a little something.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, any Viking. I do like the Vikings.
I like that.
Except Dalvin Cook.
I think they're going to be good this year.
No, I think if you have like a 7th pick and he's up there, you have to take Dalvin Cook. And by the way, if you have like a 10th pick, you got to take Swift. I mean, like these aren't like hard rules. Just try and stay away from them.
Cook is off the board.
Let's talk about the NFC South because I actually want to talk about this. I can actually talk about what's going on.
We have the 6th, but if you have the 7th pick and he's on the board, you should take him. Because Jerry got value in Derrick Henry there.
Yeah, and we did handcuff our quarterback in the 6th round with Kirk Cousins.
Billy tried to handcuff DeAndre Swift last year too.
Yep, that's true.
Guys, let's talk about the NFC South because this is actually something I could talk about. Tom Brady was in the news a lot, and he's quote going through some shit. And he looks gaunt, GAUNT. But he I can sort of speak on what's going on with him. And bear with me here. If you look it up, Hank, look it up, Billy, look it up. I am married this week to my wife. I'm allowed to say this. This is not a humble brag because this is fact. My wife was a supermodel. Rebecca Romaine.
I think it's one of those things that if you're a supermodel, you're a supermodel for life, not former. Put some respect on your wife's name. She's a supermodel.
No. I know, but I'm not coming on here and lying about my situation. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What is
real quick, Jerry? Have you ever asked her like when do you become a supermodel? When do you make that step from being a model and now boom, supermodel?
I think it comes from a pay scale. My wife was represented. I think you're represented by that sports agency, IMG. So you're not just represented by some like model agent with a cigar hanging out of your mouth. You're represented by a large sports agency that also integrates you with young men, and brands. It's like a whole thing. So you're just on another level. So my wife is in that level. Obviously,
Jerry,
I'm not comparing her to Giselle. Giselle is.
I have to say one thing. So PFT and I obviously know who your wife is because she was very famous when we were growing up. Billy just looked her up, and he just gave me this smirk like, oh, fuck yes. So take that as a compliment.
Billy, can I suggest some of her work in the 1996 swimsuit issue?
He had no idea who she was, and he is a new – Billy will be masturbating to your wife tonight, just so you know.
Actually, I was about to complain about it, but it's kind of hot.
It's very hot.
I got to tell you, it's rare that this happens because I'm a man of a particular age, but I'm getting a tingle from that. Like it
was funny in Los Angeles when Billy met Jerry for the first time. He came across the bar and he was like, "Hey, my wife over there and I, we'd like to buy you a drink." And then he's like, "Oh, you're Billy Football." He didn't realize, but I guess you're just being really polite and saying hi to a nice young man.
Does Billy have to talk to Ben Mintz about this, or is it just like
they share everything? They share everything, Jerry. You know that.
All right. But I want to talk about being married to a model who my wife just doesn't get football. My wife actually dislikes football. She thinks it's brutal and doesn't think there's finesse. Doesn't get this, doesn't get us, doesn't understand it, doesn't understand on Sundays why it has to take over. Why is it all day Sunday? Why is it on Thursdays now? Why is it on Mondays too? What is this? Why is it on Amazon? Why is it on TV? Why is it everywhere? And I think Tom Brady has to deal with a little bit of what I deal with all the time, which is living with someone who just doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. And you know what? I mean, my whole thing is, I just want to watch a couple quarters a weekend. That poor guy has to do it 6 days a week. I mean, it's gotta be tough. It's gotta be tough.
We feel for him.
And by the way, after you talking to Coach Arians yesterday, if he's on the road, I mean, he's probably going to be doing it in a studio. But it sounds like working games is just as hard a work as being
it becomes your life at some point. Now, to compare you and your marriage to Tom Brady and his marriage, so Tom came back looking he came back looking gaunt, as you said. G-A-U-N-T. And there's some speculation out there. Maybe Tom had some work done. I didn't say it, but a lot of people are saying it. To compete with, is it a thing where you see how attractive your wife is and you're like, I really have to keep it tight because I got to keep her happy. Look at her.
There is a pressure about it. Now this part of my eye, you can see it. If you really like getting close, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. We got a lot of followers these days. I thought about maybe doing something, but I'm just so afraid of looking like Siegfried and Roy. I'm just so afraid of I don't want anyone to ever make fun of me getting that. I don't want to talk on maybe him getting something done, or I just think I think he has to deal with it a lot. All right, let's keep moving on. Okay, so NFC, just to sum up the NFC, any 49ers, Jalen Hurts, maybe some Vikings, that's it.
Okay.
Let's go to the AFC South. Now, hear me out. This is going to be really random, and I love random teams. If you are in a bind, I believe Davis Mills, who went to Stanford, has got a good head on his shoulders. Davis Mills and Brandon Cooks could have that Braylon, Derek Anderson year that no one was expecting. They could. They're super cheap. I love a bargain. I love a bargain. Okay. I have no clue who else is on the Texans. Please don't even ask me. Those are the only two names that I know. And I'm really happy to say I came onto your podcast last time and I told you I like drafting Jags, and that's when you invited me into a league and you wanted me to give you money, but I said I'm not doing that because I want us to remain friends. The Jags are back, baby.
Okay.
The Jags are back.
Okay.
Yeah. I like the Jags again. I love Etienne. I think he comes at a bargain. I love Trevor Lawrence, and my sleeper this season, Evan Engram. Yeah. think he's going to have a good year. Colts are total snooze fest.
Agreed.
Total snooze fest. Except I told you for old crisscross applesauce Rodrigo. AFC East. Only the Bills. And you got to go to that bar uptown, All Stars, if you watch a Bills game. It's in New York, All Stars. It's a Bills bar. I got to tell you, I'm married. I told you, I'm married to Rebecca Romaine, former supermodel. Moderately happy. I think Bills fans are the most attractive.
Really?
I don't know about the men. I can say for the women, I just think there's just something about them.
You ever seen a Zubaz bra?
I went to this bar, All Stars.
You ever seen like those, those stripes that they wear on Bills? Like their fans wear the Zubaz pattern. They're like zebra stripes with the different colors. That's like their thing. I'm just thinking to myself out loud, like lingerie Zubaz would be, boom, 6 to midnight.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just a fan. Okay. No Pats. Can't watch that offense. Mac Jones getting 3 points last season in that game was just, they're dead to me. You know what? I will say this. Brady won. Belichick needed Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Belichick needed Brady. It's as simple as that. AFC North, Bengals, all of them, love them. Ravens, I'm sorry, just no Ravens. Last season I had Dobbins, and then I had Gus Edwards, and everybody blew their knees out, and it's like, I'm like week 1, I'm like, come on, Latavius. You're hoping Latavius Murray gets a touch. I can't deal with the Ravens, I'm sorry. Now you got to handcuff Dobbins to Mike Davis and to Kenyon Drake, pass. No Steelers except for that tight end, that Fryermouth. I can't say his name really well.
You nailed
it. Fairmouth. Yeah, I mean, I root for Trubisky, I really do. I'm sorry, but no Browns. I know I talk about Browns, but I do live in Los Angeles, and I do I don't want to get canceled. I can't like be on a public fantasy league like you guys are in and draft.
No.
One player I want to draft from the Browns, because it would be like drafting like Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, you can't do that.
In the 7th round, Jerry takes Harvey Weinstein.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
You get in too much trouble. I want to. Listen, he's there. I want to. And, everyone's sort of looking at each other virtually like, who's going to do it? Because week 12, somebody could light it up. They've had a lot of rest, and they are talented, but can't do it.
Nice.
Not touching it. So, and finally, AFC West, everybody, all of them, except for running backs on KC, because they have cool names, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but they just have no stats. Those are my rules.
So what we're gonna do, because I want memes or someone on our team is gonna make a graphic so that we won't put it right away when the podcast comes out, but maybe sometime mid-Friday we'll put out a graphic that just shows all the teams you've crossed off, so people can just have that cheat sheet ready to go. It's Jerry O'Connell's fantasy football rules. Now, Jerry, I had one last question for you, because I think I just saw you grab a piece of paper. It is the Roback question. You knew the Roback question was coming. RHOBACK.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase.
Sure.
Q-zips, hoodies, polos, everything. Roback.com. Do you have something for our good boy William Football?
Yeah, I do. I just, I'm an AWL. We established that, and I'd like to jot notes down about Billy throughout the year, and when I come on, I like to just I just wrote them down.
Let's do it. Yes, I would love to hear it.
Okay. This is a poem for Billy. Billy, Billy, Billy. This is a ditty for the man who seems to have it all made. Billy, Billy, Billy. Even though he didn't grow hair on his pubis until the 11th grade. Billy, 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 we yearn for your knowledge and how wide it does span. Billy, Billy, Billy. Like Wednesday, when you referred to the country of Russia as one giant clam jam. Billy, Billy, Billy. Yes, some of your takes are, shall we say, strange. But Billy, 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 at least unlike Hank, you seem to believe in climate change. Billy, Billy, Billy. Sometimes when you speak, we all turn to our radios and we shout, Billy, 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 shh, we can't hear you. Your internet's going out. Billy, 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 who are you exactly? We only have a few hints. Billy, 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 we know you have a hedgehog and live with a man, Ben Mintz. Billy, 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 as a man you are near perfect. Nothing with you is broken. Billy, 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 but God, do we wish we had video of you getting dunked on in Hoboken. Billy, 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 we all need your wisdom, so give him a raise for God's sake. But Billy, 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 we all know you're just going to get a coupon to pardon my cheesesteak. Billy, 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 we love you, Billy, and we love you with this crew. And Billy, 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 never, ever lose that dog in you.
I love it.
That was a poem for Billy.
Very good,
Wow.
I love you guys.
Jerry,
I got to go back.
you are the best, Jerry. We look forward to this so much. We got to have you on mid-season for an update. Just come to New York.
Yeah, waiver wire stuff.
Are you coming?
I will. I'm sorry I couldn't be in the studio.
I want to say one last thing. Are you coming to New York at all this year?
When I come, you're going to be my first call. I'm on this show called Pictionary. It starts airing September 12th, right on the Fox channels. Check it out. You can watch football and then watch your NFC games and then watch some Pictionary.
Beautiful.
I love you guys.
Thank you,
love
Jerry.
You, Bill. Bye, Hank.
You got to come. Oh, he's gone. That was good.
I think he had to run.
He just fucking hung up on us.
I think his wife was like, "What are you doing, Jerry?"
He did it. I was going to say we need to have Jerry O'Connell come to the gambling cave for an entire Sunday.
Yes.
Nothing would make me happier if he just did the whole thing and did a whole Monday episode with us.
That's the thing is, like, when we're in the gambling cave, we are paying attention to our bets and we're not paying attention at all to fantasy football. Jerry's going to be all over the map with who he cheers for in those games. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.